Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Hump Day edition of Today in Sports Betting, doing it NBA style here today, as is our habit. We're going to take a look at a couple of the TV games and then anything else that grabs our attention. Scott, we're just going to just come out firing, buddy. We got the your favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are the road team here. And Dallas 4-point favorite, 232 is your total right there. You got Porzingis back, buddy. So Dallas, they should be just rolling through everybody, right?
Well, Dallas has looked a little bit better over the last week, but then again, they're on a pretty long losing streak. So my question is, how could you have looked any worse? But winning 3 out of 4 is pretty impressive. I know it beat Atlanta on the road by 6 last week, split with Golden State. But once again, Golden State missing a bunch of players, so I'm not really sure how impressive that win is. And then beat Minnesota. It's one of those things where people are going to look at and say, oh, Dallas heating up, won 3 of 4. Yes, but they're also 1-3 against the number. So it's not like the team's actually played that well. They've just had some pretty easy competition. But Atlanta hasn't played well either. Atlanta is 1-3 in its last 4, 1-3 against the number as well, similarly to Dallas. But I kind of have to take Dallas here because they played in Atlanta a week ago, and Dallas won by 6. And Atlanta is still dealing with a ton of injuries. DeAndre Hunter being out is a big deal. Rondo's still out, which hurts. Bogdanovich being out still hurts. Mostly Bogdanovich and Hunter. I think those are 2 very, very solid wings, very underrated players in the league. And Atlanta has kind of hit a wall with them out. And truth is, I'm not surprised because I think both those players are extremely valuable to the team. If it was full strength, I would take Atlanta, but I can't overlook Hunter and Bogdanovich. I think those 2 players are actually very good.
You're going to have anybody to shut down Trae Young?
I think he'll shut down himself when he keeps taking 38-foot three-pointers.
All right.
Do you think anyone in Atlanta can guard Doncic?
No,
Hunter's their best defender.
Yeah, that's very true. I think this Atlanta defense is going to be in for a ton of trouble.
Seriously, though, who do you put on Doncic? You put Cam Reddish on him and just hope that he holds his own? Because they tried that already, and Doncic almost had a triple-double.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I've got Dallas here -4. I think that's a solid play.
I see 3.5 in most spots, so I'd probably lay the 3.5. But once again, it's what is it? It's in the land of barefoot, the man with one shoe is king.
That's right.
Yeah, something like that. I heard that from a wise man one time. But I think that's the case with Dallas because I think that just Dallas has a little bit more talent, and I think Atlanta's bitten a little bit too hard by the injury bug.
Well, it's opened up at 3.5, went up to 4, now it's popped back down to 3.5.
I'm not taking Atlanta. I'll tell you that.
Where's that Atlanta money coming from?
Atlanta?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
The designing women perhaps loading up?
I don't know. Either way, I'm not taking the Hawks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on Dallas there as well. So, all right, my friend. That was short and painless. Not a lot of.
I just have to be honest. It was just a matter of both teams aren't that impressive, but the game's on TV. I know that there's a narrative between Trae Young and Doncic. By the way, did you know that they were traded for each other? Anyone ever tell you that before? Say that every time they play against each other, every single time. But either way, I can't go against Dallas winning on the road about a week ago, and Dallas has actually played a little bit better lately. So for that reason, I'll look to Dallas there.
All right, very good. I'm with you. It's a rare, well, not rare, but we probably agree about it. Half the time, maybe.
Give or take.
How about Bucks and Suns, buddy?
Good matchup.
Yeah, it is. Suns are clipping along, 14-9. The Bucks, we spent this show could be called "I Hate the Bucks," and we rail about them. They're how terrible they are. They don't have anybody coming off the bench, and there you go. They're 16-8.
No, the ship has sailed. It's a matter of most of my complaints for the start of the season was about the playoffs and how this team long term, I don't think would eventually be able to get over the hump. I just don't think that this team is good enough to get over the hump. Having said all that, I did say before the Denver game that Milwaukee goes on a run every year where they just kill a bunch of teams and they'd probably end up as the 1 or 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. And it seems like the time is now for that, as Milwaukee has won 5 games in a row, and these games haven't been close. I mean, they've been killing teams. Home, road, doesn't matter. But Phoenix has played well as well.
I'll pull out the card that you always pull out. Who have they beaten, Scott?
Beating Denver on the road, I think, is a good one.
There
Other
you
than
go.
that, though, you beat Cleveland twice. Not impressive. I'm aware the schedule hasn't been good. The Denver one, I think, is impressive. But yeah, Phoenix has played really well lately as well, which I think is worth mentioning. I've been very high on this Phoenix team since the start of the season. They had
Yeah,
COVID.
well, I thought they were going to let us down because they started off well, and we were like, "Yeah, there you go. We told you."
I wasn't that worried, just because they had some COVID issues. They had to miss a little bit of time, a bit of a slump there. They lost 2 really tough overtime games to Denver, so they could have won either of those games. And Booker didn't play in the second one, so I thought that there was a little bit of optimism looking forward. But once again, you beat Dallas, beat Detroit, beat Boston, which is a good win, I guess, and beat Cleveland by 6. So Phoenix, once again, has been playing well lately.
And they
Phoenix
beat Dallas. They beat
6.
Dallas twice. They beat Boston at home. I mean, yeah, there's some decent.
Yeah, there's some okay wins there. I mean, depends on how you factor Dallas. I don't know what to think of Dallas as a quality win or not, but still,
right.
They've had some.
Anytime you win 2 in a row against same team at home, yeah, those are okay. I mean,
that was on the road. That was on the road both times.
On the road, what I'm saying, at their home, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree, but.
So yeah, you've got 2 teams that are playing well. You've got the Suns that have won and covered 6 of 7, and you've got the Bucks who won and covered 5 straight. So who do you like here? You're going to test your theory about the Bucks are going to go on doing that road trip thing where they just roll through everybody here?
I am.
Okay.
I'm going with Milwaukee. At the end of the day, I like Phoenix a lot as a team.
Yeah.
I think that this team has reinvented themselves with Chris Paul, even though they were the most entertaining team in the bubble, and it has worked out. But at the end of the day, I look at Giannis, I look at Middleton, and even Drew Holiday, who I think is a very solid point guard, who has been underrated his entire career. And the issue that I have is that I just don't know who on Phoenix can match up. Because you look at who Phoenix has, I don't know who you put on Giannis. You put Ayton, and you just hope that he can stay in front of him and just limit him to jump shots. I guess
you're right. You try to limit him in the paint. That's all you.
That's what I'm assuming they're going to do. But you got Middleton, who is going to be guarded by Booker.
Yeah.
I don't think Booker's a good defender. Middleton, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want Middleton to be my second best player on a playoff team. In the regular season, though, he's a hell of a player.
Man, I would feel a lot better about this game at 6.
Because you want to take Phoenix at 6?
I do. I just don't love them at 4.5.
Well, the thing, though, you have a couple of you have some injury news to keep in mind. I forgot also that Drew Holiday is out for this game. I forgot that he actually had COVID. He's actually going to be out for this game.
No.
So, my bad. Forgot about that one. But either way, going through the line here, usually Phoenix's guy to guard Middleton would probably be Jay Crowder, who at least can play some defense, but he's questionable with a foot injury. He hasn't played the last couple games.
Right. Well, Paul is questionable as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talked about yesterday with Boston being full strength and not being able to make a decision there.
Well, Brown ended up playing. They still got smacked.
Right. So, but without knowing about Crowder or Paul, I'm assuming both those guys are going to play.
I think Paul's going to play. I think Crowder probably won't. But that's just my opinion. Just looking at Crowder's recent performances and everything, he hasn't played in each of the last 3 games. I don't think he's coming back tonight.
You know what? For the purpose of the show, I'll give you a little excitement. I'll take Phoenix. I'm probably not going to play it in real life, but okay. I think they're playing good right now. Milwaukee's due for a stinker in the middle of this big road trip.
I just don't see it being against Phoenix. I just think Milwaukee matches up pretty well against Phoenix from an athletic perspective. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah, well, they match up well from an athletics perspective with most teams. So it's just it's all about execution for them. So
I just don't know who on Phoenix is going to actually guard the likes of Giannis and Middleton. I just don't think Phoenix has one of those guys who match up perfectly with either. And I think you need at least one.
Good enough. Got a thought on the total?
226.5. That's the thing, though, is that Phoenix loves to play slow.
Right.
But, I mean, Milwaukee's been an over machine over the last couple weeks. I mean, you're going through the line here, and Milwaukee is 5-1-1 to the over in the last 7.
Yeah, they've put up 114 or more in 9 straight.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go with the over. Just seems like one of those spots where I think if you wanted to go with correlated parlay, you could look into it.
Yeah,
I think Drew Holiday being out is actually a big deal for the over because he's easily their best defender and he's arguably one of the best defending point guards in the entire league. So if Chris Paul does play, I don't think Milwaukee's anyone who can guard him. I can see points here. Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
So I'll lean over, but I like Milwaukee.
All right, good enough. Anything else on the NBA card grab you today?
Well, I'm gonna have a play today on the NBA coming up after this.
Okay.
Looking at some other matchups here. I know Paul George is still out, so I don't want to touch the Clippers, but boy, do I hate that Minnesota team. I like Toronto, -5.5 against Washington. I know that Toronto got off to a very, very bad start. People were kind of making fun of them and how this team was going to be terrible. Don't look now, but the Raptors are they're coming on a little bit strong if you look at them lately. Toronto has once again had the argument of who exactly have you played, because going through who they've beaten, they beat the Magic twice. Magic terrible. They beat the Nets, who are good on paper, but you had KD who missed half the game with COVID and then came back, and the whole thing was weird. Lost to the Hawks on the road, which was pretty terrible, and beat the Grizzlies, who've been reeling lately, by 15. Play Washington. I don't think I need to tell anybody how bad Washington is. I know Washington burned me on the last game against Chicago, but I can't go against Toronto because you know that Toronto has the talent advantage, and you know they have the coaching advantage because I would take a Nick Nurse over pretty much any coach in the league, and Scott Brooks is easily one of them. So for that reason, I think Toronto 5.5 is a good look.
Denver laying 9.5 to Cleveland.
By the way, do you have any thoughts on that Toronto game?
Oh, I like that. I think it's Toronto or pass.
Yeah, I like Toronto.
No question there. I'm just looking at this Denver team that's been cold against a Cleveland team that's been really cold. I'm just not sure Denver's 9.5 points better than anybody.
So you're picking the room temperature team?
See, that's the thing. I'm probably going to stay away from it, but anytime Denver's laying 9.5, that immediately has my attention.
That's fair.
But I don't know that Cleveland's the spot there. And, Denver's missing so much bench depth there as well.
You know who would be really good? Who would be a really good fit on Denver? Jeremy Grant would be a really good fit on Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without him, that team doesn't really look the same. But I'll tell you one spot I'm potentially interested in, or I was, not really anymore. I was looking at maybe the Thunder, but I see Gilgeous-Alexander's out, so I can't touch that now.
Nope.
But you have any thoughts on the New Orleans-Chicago game? I think I'd have to lean New Orleans. I know that they're on a back-to-back, and I know that since Chicago screwed me the last play of the day, I had them. I'm assuming they're going to win this game. New Orleans, though, actually playing some decent basketball.
Yeah, they've won and covered 4 straight, 6 of 8.
Yeah.
Chicago looks exactly like Chicago.
Well, it doesn't help also when their second leading scorer, Markkanen's out for a couple weeks. So they're offensively going to be relying on Levine to pretty much do everything on offense, which he's capable of doing, but his shot selection isn't always up to snuff. So
yeah, this is a healthy New Orleans team.
That's what I'm saying. It just health-wise, I think that's a decent spot for New Orleans because I think that
I don't love the back-to-back. I don't love flying from Houston to Chicago.
Well, it's not from Houston. It's from New Orleans. But
I'm from New Orleans. Sorry. Yeah,
same idea. But either way, when I took Chicago, I figured with or without Markkanen, this team would kill Washington's defense, which is the second worst defense in the league. And they scored 101 points.
Right.
So I think Markkanen being out's a bigger deal than maybe I thought it was going to be in the last game. And I just think that in addition to Chicago not being good defensively, just doesn't have many offensive weapons. And I'll trust the hot team there.
All right.
I'll lean Pelicans there.
Okay. That's solid.
Yep.
All right, bud. Anything else?
No. I just have a play today. So that's pretty much it.
Well, make sure you guys tune in for his play of the day. And, yeah, we both do. I don't know if you guys probably know that, but we both do plays of the day. So make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com for deep dives into these games and all the other games on the schedule. And, that's going to do it for myself, for Scott Reichel. For all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, wishing you guys nothing but the best here today on Hump Day. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. We'll be back to count it all up tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.